Hey everyone! Welcome back to Speak English with Mishu. I'm Emily, and I'm excited you're here with us again.
And I'm Liam. Today we're diving into something that sounds simple, but can truly transform everything. Your habits. The title says it all. Change your habits, change your life.
You know, Liam, just last month I started a new habit of waking up 30 minutes earlier to study English. At first, it was hard, but after a few days, I started to enjoy the quiet time. And now, I can already feel more confident when I speak.
That's a great example because sometimes we wait for big change, but real change starts with small things we do every day.
Yes, it's not magic, it's momentum. Today, we'll talk about why habits are so powerful, how they shape your daily life, and how you can create better ones, step by step.
So if you've been struggling with motivation, routine, or just feel stuck, this episode is for you.
Let's explore how changing just a few small habits can lead to big results in your English learning and your life.
Let's begin with a simple question. Why do habits matter so much? Why do they have such a big impact on the way we live, learn, and grow?
Because habits shape your daily actions, and your daily actions shape your future. The things you do again and again, even if they seem small, become who you are.
Exactly. Think about it. If you spend 15 minutes each day studying English, that adds up to over 90 hours in a year. But if you keep saying, "I'll start tomorrow," you may lose an entire year.
Habits work quietly. You don't always see the results right away, but they're building something. Every time you repeat an action, your brain gets better at doing it. That's how fluency is built.
And this doesn't apply only to English. It applies to health, success, relationships, mindset, everything.
That's why this topic is so important. Most people try to change their lives by changing big things. But real change starts with the little things you do every day, almost without thinking.
And here's something powerful. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. If your habits are strong, your progress will feel natural.
We often say we want to be fluent in English, feel confident, or live a better life. But if we're not building habits that support those dreams, we stay stuck in the same place.
So today's topic isn't just about routines. It's about how small actions can change your identity. You stop saying, "I want to learn English," and start saying, "I'm an English learner."
We'll walk you through the real problems with bad habits, the hidden reasons we get stuck, and how to start building new habits that support your goals, one step at a time.
Because when you change your habits, you really do change your life.
Let's get real now. Most of us know we need better habits, but we keep falling into the same patterns. Why? Because bad habits are easy, comfortable, and familiar.
Exactly. Think about this. You wake up, check your phone, scroll for 30 minutes, and then feel rushed. You want to study English, but now you're out of time. And you promise, "I'll try tomorrow," but the same thing happens again.
It becomes a cycle. You feel guilty for not studying, you lose confidence, and eventually you stop trying. Not because you're lazy, but because your habits are controlling your day.
Another common struggle is procrastination. You sit down to study, but then you decide to organize your desk, check a message, or make tea. Suddenly, an hour is gone.
And let's not forget distraction. So many learners say they want to focus, but every 5 minutes, they're switching apps, looking at their phone, or multitasking.
These bad habits don't just waste time, they break your focus. And focus is key when learning a new language.
Also, many learners set goals that are too big, like I'll study English for 2 hours every day. But when life gets busy, they give up. The habit never sticks.
And behind all this, there's often a deeper feeling. I'm not consistent, or maybe I'm not the kind of person who can change. that thought itself becomes a habit too.
Yes, and it's painful, right? You want to improve, you have the dream, but your daily actions are pulling you in the opposite direction.
The problem isn't that you don't want to grow. It's that your current habits are working against you, not for you.
But the good news is this: habits can be changed. You don't have to stay stuck in those cycles. It takes patience, but it's possible.
And that's exactly what we're going to help you with: how to break the old patterns and build new habits that truly support your goals. Now, let's talk about why we get stuck in bad habits, even when we know they're not helping us. It's not just about discipline. There are emotional and logical reasons behind it.
Let's start with the emotional side. Sometimes habits give us comfort. Even if they're bad for us, they make us feel safe. Watching TV instead of studying, sleeping late, avoiding speaking English. These things feel easier.
And often, they help us avoid discomfort. Studying a language can feel awkward or tiring. So we run away from that feeling by choosing something easier, something familiar.
Also, fear plays a huge role. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of not being good enough. So instead of trying and risking that fear, we stay in the comfort of old habits.
That's the emotional part. Now let's look at the logical part, how our brain works. The brain loves routine. It repeats what is easy and automatic. So when you do something again and again, like checking your phone first thing in the morning, your brain saves that as a shortcut.
It becomes automatic. You're not even thinking. That's the power of habits. They take over without asking you.
And guess what? Your brain doesn't care if it's a good habit or a bad one. It just repeats whatever you practice.
That's why breaking a bad habit feels so hard. You're not just fighting your behavior, you're fighting your brain's autopilot system.
But here's something important. You don't have to fight it forever. You just have to interrupt the pattern. If you can pause and make a different choice, even once, you start a new path.
And with consistency, that new path becomes your new autopilot. That's how change happens, not overnight, but one small shift at a time.
Understanding these emotional and logical causes is the first step. Once you see how your habits are formed, you can start to take control.
So now let's move into the practical part, what you can actually do to build better habits that stick. Let's begin with the first and most important habit rule. Start small, stay consistent. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to change everything at once.
Exactly. They decide, I'm going to study English for 2 hours every day, go to the gym, read a book, and wake up at 5 a.m. It sounds exciting, but it's too much, too fast.
And when you can't keep up, you feel disappointed, like you failed. But the truth is, you didn't fail. The system failed you because it wasn't realistic.
That's why we say start small. If you want to build an English study habit, begin with just 5 minutes a day. Yes, 5 minutes.
It might sound too easy, but it's not. Those 5 minutes build the habit muscle. Your brain gets used to showing up daily. And once the habit is strong, you can grow it.
Think of it like planting a seed. You don't expect a tree overnight. You water it daily, give it sunlight, and let it grow.
Here's a practical tip. Pick a specific time and place for your habit. For example, I'll listen to an English podcast every night at 9 p.m. Or I'll read one English paragraph after breakfast.
By connecting your habit to something that already happens in your routine, it becomes automatic. That's called habit stacking.
So instead of waiting for motivation, you rely on your system. Your system makes it easy to succeed even on busy or low energy days.
Also, track your progress. Put a check mark on your calendar every day you do the habit. That visual reward feels good and keeps you going.
And don't break the chain. If you miss one day, don't miss two. Get back on track immediately.
Starting small and staying consistent sounds simple, but it's powerful. It's how big change really begins.
So today, choose one small habit, just one, and promise to do it every day for the next 7 days.
Let it be your first step toward real, lasting change. Now that we've talked about starting small, let's talk about the second powerful strategy. Make your habit easy and obvious. If something is hard to do or easy to forget, you probably won't stick with it.
Exactly. Let's say you want to read an English book every night, but the book is hidden in your backpack or on a shelf across the room. You'll probably skip it.
But if you put that book right on your pillow or next to your phone, you'll see it and remember to read. That's the idea. Make it obvious.
The easier your habit is to start, the more likely you are to follow through. Your brain likes things that don't take much effort.
So let's make some habits easier. Want to study vocabulary? Keep your flashcards on your desk. Want to listen to podcasts? Save the link on your phone's home screen.
Even better, prepare your study space in advance. Keep your notebook open. Plug in your headphones. Open your favorite English website. Remove the friction.
Here's another tip. Decide when and where the habit will happen. Not just, I'll study today, but I'll study at 8 p.m. in my room for 10 minutes.
That small change, being specific, makes a huge difference. It tells your brain, this is real. This is happening.
And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need a quiet library or a fancy journal, just a clear plan and a simple setup.
The point is to remove excuses. When your habit is easy and obvious, you don't have to waste energy deciding what to do. You just do it.
That's the secret to building momentum. When the first step is easy, it pulls you into action naturally.
So look around. What's one habit you can make easier today? Where can you remove friction or add a simple reminder?
Do that, and you'll start seeing your new habit become part of your daily life without stress or force.
Let's go deeper now. Building a habit isn't just about action. It's about meaning. When a habit has purpose, it becomes powerful. It's not just something you should do. It becomes something you want to do.
Yes, if you study English just because someone told you to, it feels like a chore. But if you link your study habit to your dream job, or traveling the world, or making new friends, it suddenly feels important.
Exactly. Habits that connect to your values stay with you longer. So ask yourself, why do I really want this? What does it mean to you?
Let me give you an example. I knew a student who struggled to stay consistent. But once she started visualizing her dream, working abroad and helping her family, her energy changed. Studying wasn't a task anymore. It was a step toward that dream.
That's beautiful. And here's something you can try. Write down your why. Post it somewhere you can see it every day. For example, I'm learning English so I can teach others. I'm building good habits to create the life I want.
Your why reminds you that the effort is worth it, even on the hard days.
And it keeps you focused. When the habit feels boring, your reason keeps you going. When you feel like quitting, your purpose brings you back.
Also, share your goal with someone you trust. When you speak your dream out loud, it becomes real. You feel supported and more committed.
So yes, read books, watch videos, build a routine. But most importantly, build it around something that matters to your heart.
That's what gives your habit strength, not just repetition, but meaning.
And when your habits are built on meaning, they don't just change your schedule. They change your identity.
Now that we've built a strong foundation, starting small, making it easy, and adding meaning, let's talk about something that keeps habits alive: progress.
Progress is like fuel. When you see yourself improving, even just a little, it gives you energy to keep going. That's why tracking your progress is so important.
Let's be honest, some days you won't feel like you're moving forward. But when you look back and see how far you've come, you realize you've already changed.
So, how do we track progress? You can use a notebook, an app, or a simple calendar. Put a check mark every time you complete your habit. It's a small action, but it feels powerful.
It creates momentum. One check mark becomes 2, 5, 10, and soon your brain doesn't want to break the chain.
You can also take monthly photos, write weekly reflections, or record voice messages to yourself. These little snapshots help you feel proud and motivated.
And here's something people forget. Celebrate small wins. Don't wait until you're fluent in English. Celebrate the fact that you studied today, or finished one lesson, or remembered a new word.
That celebration doesn't have to be big. Maybe you tell a friend, enjoy your favorite tea, or smile and say to yourself, I did it today. That's enough.
These small wins train your brain to enjoy the process, not just the result. And when you enjoy the process, you keep coming back.
Another powerful idea is create a reward system. For example, after 5 days of consistent study, reward yourself with something simple you love.
When your brain connects habits with joy, those habits become part of your life naturally, not with pressure, but with positivity.
So don't ignore your progress. Notice it, track it, celebrate it. That's how you stay consistent even when motivation disappears.
Remember, big change is just small wins repeated daily.
Let's keep building on that momentum in the next part.
Let's be honest. No matter how good your system is, life will get in the way. You'll get tired. You'll get busy. You'll forget. And that's when most people give up.
Yes, one of the biggest obstacles is missing a day. People think, oh no, I missed my habit, I failed. And that one missed day turns into one missed week, and then they stop completely.
But missing one day doesn't break your progress. What breaks it is the decision to quit. The real rule is this: never miss twice.
Exactly. Life happens. You're human. Forgive yourself quickly and get back on track the very next day. That's how real progress is made.
Another common obstacle is boredom. Yes, habits can get boring. Doing the same thing every day feels repetitive. But boredom isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal to stay committed.
You can change the method, but keep the habit. For example, if you're tired of reading, try listening to a podcast. If speaking practice feels slow, watch a video and repeat out loud.
Another obstacle is perfectionism. Many learners think they need to be perfect. If they don't do it exactly right, they think it's not worth doing at all.
That's dangerous. Perfection is the enemy of progress. You don't need a perfect habit, you just need a real one.
And let's talk about lack of motivation. Motivation will not be with you every day. That's why systems and structure matter more than mood.
Remind yourself of your why. Go back to the reason you started. Look at your progress. Talk to a friend. Watch an inspiring video. Reignite that spark when it starts to fade.
Also, plan for hard days in advance. Prepare a bare minimum version of your habit. For example, if you usually study for 20 minutes, on tough days, just do 2 minutes. That way you keep the habit alive.
That's the mindset of someone who wins. Someone who knows success isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent.
So whatever obstacles come your way, remember, you have the tools. You can handle it. Just don't stop showing up.
You're stronger than you think, and habits, once rooted deep, can carry you through the hard days. Let's do a short role play to show how someone might struggle with habits and how to respond using the strategies we've shared. I'll be the learner and you be the supportive friend.
Perfect. Let's go.
Hey Liam, I've been trying to study English every day, but I keep getting distracted. I feel like I'm not making any progress.
That's okay, Emily. Building new habits is hard at first. What's your current routine like?
Well, I tell myself I'll study sometime during the day, but then the day goes by and I forget.
That's a common issue. What if you made it more specific, like saying, I'll study at 8 p.m. after dinner, and keeping your book on the table so you won't miss it?
that could help. I usually check my phone after dinner, so maybe I could replace that with listening to a podcast instead.
Exactly. That's habit stacking, connecting a new habit to one you already have. And remember, even 5 minutes counts.
Okay, but sometimes I feel lazy. I think it's just 5 minutes. Does it really matter?
Yes, it does, because 5 minutes builds consistency. You're teaching your brain to show up, and over time, it becomes automatic.
That makes sense. I guess I've been expecting too much, too fast.
Most people do, but real change is slow and steady. Just keep your habits small, easy, and meaningful. You've got this.
Thanks, Liam. I'll set my reminder right now. And tonight, I'm starting with 5 minutes of listening practice.
Awesome. And when you complete it, celebrate that win, even if it's small. That's how progress is made.
Got it. Let's build good habits, one small step at a time.
That's the way to do it.
Before we wrap up, let's learn some useful words and phrases from today's episode that can help you talk about habits and change.
First word, habit. A behavior you do regularly, often without thinking.
Next phrase, consistency. Doing something regularly over time, which helps habits grow stronger.
Here's another, habit stacking. Attaching a new habit to an existing one to make it easier to remember.
Also, momentum, the force that keeps you moving forward once you start making progress.
Then there's progress tracking, keeping a record of your actions to see how much you've improved.
And finally, motivation, the reason or desire that makes you want to do something.
Try using these words when you talk about your learning journey. It will help you explain your goals and challenges.
Remember, building habits is a process, and learning the right words helps you stay focused and confident.
Use these phrases in your daily English practice, and soon they will become natural.
Today, we explored how changing your habits can truly change your life. We learned that starting small, making habits easy, attaching meaning, and tracking progress are key to success.
We also talked about common obstacles and how to overcome them, like missing days, boredom, and perfectionism. Remember, it's about persistence, not perfection.
Your habits shape your identity. When you choose your habits carefully, you choose the kind of person you want to become.
So, start today. Pick one small habit that will support your English learning or personal growth. Make it easy, meaningful, and track your progress.
If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to Speak English with Mishu so you don't miss our future lessons and motivation.
And share this episode with friends who want to build better habits and change their lives.
Leave a comment below and tell us, what's one habit you will start building today?
Thank you for listening and believing in yourself. Your journey starts now.
See you next time.